Good Thursday afternoon, and welcome to Two Idiots Talking Football. I'm James Knox alongside my co-host Joshua Brooks, and let's do something here real quick. You are not. Let's try to make your picture bigger. I'm just gonna. There you go. Until
Oh,
I can figure this out. Hang on, give me just a second.
okay.
Why are we having these issues? It's always something with this stupid thing. Let's. Well, that'll work. Hang on. Let me put it back here. It's always something. Tell you what. Let's do this. Nope, that ain't gonna work. We'll have to fix the layout. I'll tell you what. It's all I'm telling you. I should have thought about that before, and I was like, well, it'll go back to the way it used to be. That's not the case. New layout. That ain't gonna work. On the fly. On the fly. Let's try this one. Yes. That work. There we go. That's good enough for right now. Goodness gracious. So many buttons. Told you the older I get, the dumber I get. All righty. So, got a lot to get to today as tonight starts week 8 between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm not sure how that game's going to play out. We'll get to some of the injury reports and some of the keys to victory for each team. Minnesota coming off a not so great performance against the Philadelphia Eagles in a game that was winnable for them,
Yeah.
but that's the Minnesota Vikings for you. Of course, T.J. Hawkinson thought he had the touchdown catch in the end zone. We saw the ball juggle, and then he tried to grab it again. So the NFL still doesn't know what a catch and a no catch is. No big surprise.
Hey, at least
there.
they're not like the NBA.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, the Trailblazers coach got arrested by the FBI for fixing games.
Oh, I saw that because wasn't he like involved with the mafia or
Yeah.
something?
The NBA is dead.
I've
No
been-
one's going to bet on it anymore because players are even fixing games.
See, that's the whole thing with the legalized betting and stuff like that. And of course, I love to throw some money into the betting realm. And we had this issue with Tim Donaghy, the referee, some years ago, where he was kind of involved in a betting, fixing, gambling scheme, however you want to look at it. But I think the NBA is probably the league in which that happens more often than what we realize, just because
the arresting FBI officer was the director of the FBI.
That's not great. That's really not great. Wow. I saw that story earlier. I didn't think anything about it. Really did not even cross my mind to read it. But man, how does
That doesn't help. The NBA is rigged, people.
No, not at all. No, and because people think the NBA is rigged, the next sport they go to ultimately is the NFL. I think Major League Baseball is probably the hardest to rig because while it's a team game, it's a bunch of one-on-one, matchups. I guess you could argue that the NHL is probably in that realm too, just because you don't know which way the puck is going to bounce. In terms of basketball and football, there are multiple ways in which I could sit here and think that you could fix the game. That's terrible. The NBA, I can't say I've never, but I haven't been a big NBA fan for probably since the Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas days. And that's because I grew up in that atmosphere where it was the Celtics and the Bulls all the time, or the Celtics and the Lakers. But yeah, that certainly doesn't do anybody any good in terms of the game is being fixed. There was like 12 college students too that were, I guess, involved or investigated into earlier this year about fixing college basketball games. And that's terrible because now you're talking about a sport that, like it hasn't had enough issues with
now it's in the college level.
Yeah. So I'm afraid that really when it comes to basketball in general, that could go from a level as small as high school all the way to the very top, and we're seeing it with the NBA. So go figure. Not a great look for the league, and I mean, Commissioner Silver has his hands full. All right, so let's get into the slate of games for this week. We're going to kind of go through the games that are on the schedule for Week 8. And as we do that, we'll talk about what the team did last week. We'll also talk about the Rams and Jaguars game in London,
Oh
since
God.
both of those teams are off this week. So we'll start tonight. You've got the Minnesota Vikings traveling to SoFi to take on the Los Angeles Chargers, 7:15 game on Amazon Prime. And, Minnesota coming off a loss at Philadelphia or against Philadelphia at home last week, and the Chargers continued to look bad. That's really the only way to look at it, as they lost last week as well. So the Vikings are 3-3. The Chargers are 4-3 as we go into Week 8. The injuries for this week, Josh, the Vikings are possibly without their left tackle, Christian Darrisaw. He's got a knee injury. He did not practice. Now, these are updated as much as I could. Obviously, the NFL, you'll get the who's
Final
inactive.
ones later.
Yeah, generally those are released about an hour and a half before the game. So Christian Darrisaw, the tackle with a knee injury, he didn't practice yesterday. He's questionable for tonight. Their fullback C.J. Ham, he's out. He's already been ruled out tonight. It's in a hand injury. Let's see, Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, the defensive tackle, defensive end. He's a go. Donovan Jackson, the guard's a go. Aaron Jones, and it still says the running back is questionable with a hamstring injury. You kind of had some news on that before we went on the air.
Yeah, so Kirk Herbstreit on the Pat McAfee show today said that Aaron Jones will be taken off of IR and will be active.
That is a huge boost for them. Not that Jordan Mason has done a bad job, but Aaron Jones also a big-time threat coming out of the backfield catching the ball. J.J. McCarthy, he's questionable with an ankle. He's not going to play. Carson Wentz is the starter tonight. Brian O'Neill, tackle knee, he's questionable as well. Xavier Scott, their running back, third stringer, he's questionable with a wrist injury. And then their I guess star linebacker, if you want to call him a star, Andrew Van Ginkel, has already been ruled out as well. He's got a neck injury. And then Carson Wentz is a go for it tonight. So that does benefit the Vikings, although I don't know. I mean, if you're a Vikings fan, I don't know how you can be confident in Carson Wentz after last week's performance.
Right.
Charger injury wise, Joe Alt, the tackle, he's actually questionable. I haven't seen for sure injury report stuff on them other than the fact that Hassan Haskins, their running back, he's out with a hamstring injury. Everybody else is questionable. Joe Alt, questionable.
I'm not sure if Joe Alt plays.
Well, and that's what I was thinking too. Is I thought whenever he got hurt, we were talking about a multi-week injury, and I guess I guess 2 weeks is considered multiple weeks, but in terms of looking at long-term 4 or 5 week IR stuff, they haven't put him on IR, so maybe he is questionable for tonight. Jamari Caldwell, the defensive tackle, he has an illness. He was limited in practice. He's questionable. Austin Deculus, their tackle, he's questionable. Troy Dye, the linebacker, also questionable. Haskins is out. Kyle Kennard, the defensive end, he's a full go. So he's expected to play tonight, as is Jamari Sawyer, the guard. Trey Pipkins, tackle, he's questionable. Let's see. Otto Agbonia, he didn't participate in practice. It just doesn't say whether he's out or questionable, so maybe he's a game time decision as well. I'm not sure who you take in tonight's game. I think this is going to be one of those games where it could be both defenses just kind of fall flat and you have a 27-24 ball game, or nobody can do anything and it's a 17-10 game. So that game on Prime tonight, short week for both teams. Minnesota, like I said, they did give the Eagles a run for it, but ultimately could not get the job done.
Yeah, and then the Chargers didn't really do much against the Colts. The score doesn't indicate that, but it was a lot of garbage time points.
And we'll talk about Indianapolis when we get to them. There are a lot of pundits out there that believe that Indy could be a Super Bowl contender. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm
waiting for Daniel Jones to be Daniel Jones.
Yeah, me and you both. And I mean, we are going into Week 8, so maybe it's just a point now where this is what Daniel Jones is, not being in New York and under that terrible coaching staff. So we'll come back and make our picks after we go through these games. The next one is the 4-2 Bears at the 1-5 Ravens. I really honestly thought that Lamar would be back for this game,
He's
but
not playing.
yeah, he was limited in practice all week, and I guess the hamstring is still keeping him out. If that's the case, then the
I
Bears
don't
will
think he
get another
practiced
win.
today. I don't think he practiced today at all.
And and here we are. It's Thursday, and if you haven't practiced all week, Friday's always the telltale.
Yeah.
But if he hasn't practiced all week, I can't imagine that he's a go. And if you're looking at Cooper Rush, the pride of Central Michigan, or Snoop Huntley, I might go with Snoop, but I don't think it really matters. I mean,
He
the
did
Bears,
decent against the Rams.
yeah, he did. He did drive them. Of course, by that time they were already down 17-3,
So it
and
didn't really
it
matter.
was kind of a foregone conclusion. Yeah, but I'm kind of with you. I think that if you're going to start somebody, I think you have to go with Snoop just because he's a dual threat quarterback, as dual threat as he can possibly be. I will say this: it does look like Chidobe Awuzie is going to be back. He's a full go. Zay Flowers is a full go, so that will help. Kyle Hamilton, their safety, was limited in practice. Now he did play against the Rams. Marlon Humphrey, he didn't practice at all. Lamar limited practice, but as we've already discussed, he's out. Patrick Ricard, their fullback, he was a full go. Roquan Smith is back. Ronnie Staley is back, and Devontae Walker is back. So that's certainly a boost. But the one person you need to be back if you're expected to make a run, I mean, you're 1-5. It's getting late quick.
So
So
apparently Lamar did practice today. So maybe they'll have him back, but it's like 50. It's like that 2023 injury that he had, or 2022, where he practiced but like decided not to play in games.
right. I mean, I would imagine if he didn't practice Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and
But he practiced today.
yep. So we'll have to see, how much he's done. It does say he was limited. So it's interesting as well. I mean, I think that it may be a thing that even if he can go, I'm taking the Bears just because of the way they've played lately. I mean,
Yeah. And the Ravens defense is awful.
right. And right now, I mean, you've got a couple of guys for the Bears that did not practice, but other than that, it's either limited or a full go. And I mean, maybe DeAndre Swift, who did not participate at all. Everybody else is kind of a mixed bag, and you're not looking at anybody who's like top of the line. Well, I guess Cole Kmet, he didn't go either, but that could be a personal day for the veteran.
This will be people think Colston Loveland's going to start this game.
Okay. That would be I guess at this point in time, it'd be nice to see what they have in him too.
Yeah.
The next game, this is a noon game on Fox. It's the 2-5 Browns at the 5-2 Patriots, which is they've been, I think, one of the surprise of the league, honestly, maybe outside of Daniel Jones and the Colts.
Yeah.
There are some big time injuries, I guess, for the Browns. Jerry Jeudy, he didn't practice at all. David Njoku, he's limited. They hope he can play, but that's a lot of hope considering he hasn't practiced all week and was limited. Denzel Ward, the corner, he's limited as well. Again, they'll get Grant Delpit back, which is nice. He was a full go in practice today. Joel Bitonio, limited. Tyson Campbell was limited. Malik Collins, limited. Just a lot of limited or not going at all. Not having Jerry Jeudy, that certainly hurts, especially considering that would be a big time threat for Dylan Gabriel in the passing game. For the Patriots, you've got limited and full. The only one that did not practice at all was Elijah Ponder, the linebacker. Stephon Diggs was limited, but I think he's dealing just with bumps and bruises, really, just being banged up. I mean, we are in week 8. Same for Christian Barmore as well. Honestly, Cleveland, man, they probably made the biggest mistake trade-wise getting rid of Joe Flacco, especially considering the Steelers have kind of made that public. Right. But I think ultimately I don't think it matters. I think the Patriots probably win that game. Like I said, we'll make our picks once we go through these. Dolphins and Falcons, 1-6. I mean, hell, do we really need to go through this? I mean, I think everybody for Miami should be questionable.
Michael Penix might not play.
I did see that. And I want to see if he practiced today.
So Kirk O'Chains might be your starter.
There you go. Penix was limited in practice. Tyler Algier was limited as well. I'm trying to think see if anybody else here that didn't. Well, Diablo didn't practice for the Falcons. Mike Ford was limited. And that's really what they've been able to hang their hat on is their defense has been really good. Darnell Mooney was limited as well. Michael Penix obviously is the one we're watching. If Cousins gets the start, I mean, he does give them a fighting chance, but you're also playing Miami. I mean, I think I could probably go out there.
Really saying much.
I think I could go out there and probably play quarterback and beat the Dolphins.
I mean, if they put their jerseys on the right way, they should win.
Just show up. Just show up. That's all you need.
I mean, really, at this point, that's all you have to do.
Right. Revenge game next is the 2-5 Giants at the 5-2 Eagles. We remember a couple Thursdays ago that the Giants beat Philadelphia, but behind Jackson Dart and Scattaboo, which I'm telling you right now, I think they've got something there. They should have beat the Broncos. You give up 33 points in the fourth quarter to lose to the Broncos. I mean, you missed a couple extra points. If you hit those, you win.
Well, then Sean Payton threw some shade at Russell Wilson.
Boy, he sure did. Saying that he was hoping that they would face Russell Wilson instead of Jackson Dart. And, of course,
Russ's clapback was pretty good, too, though.
It sure was. Talking about, didn't realize you were still
head hunting 15 years later.
Still bounty hunting 15 years later. So
let's ride.
Yeah, I was going to say, and that's how he ended it, too, with his little tagline there. Wow, the one that surprises me injury-wise, and I wonder if this is injury-wise or if it's something else, because while the Eagles did beat the Vikings last week and A.J. Brown did catch a touchdown pass, there's still a lot of tension there.
He didn't practice yesterday.
Yeah, he didn't practice today either. So, that's one to look at. Other than that, let's see, Landon Dickerson, he was limited in practice. Same with Dallas Goedert. I do want to talk about the fact that Brandon Graham comes out of retirement and signs back with the Eagles. I don't know how much of a impact that'll have this week, but going forward, if he's got anything left in the tank, I mean, he's a dog.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to watch. I don't know.
The Giants also made an acquisition.
I must have missed it.
They signed Ray McLeod off of free agency and moved him to the active roster.
Okay, that's definitely one to watch.
The Falcons released him yesterday.
Was there any Falcons give a reason? I mean,
I don't know. All I saw was that they released him, and then today the Giants picked him up and then moved him to the active roster.
So I would expect him to be in the lineup on Sunday then. Let's see. Brandon Graham, he was a full go. Adoree Jackson did not participate. Cam Jurgens, the center, he did not participate either. And then Jeremiah Trotter, he was out as well. So the Eagles are pretty banged up defensively as well. So Brandon Graham, I'm guessing he'll get some time on Sunday. We'll see what he has left in the gas tank. Moving on to the next game, we've got the 5-2 Niners at the 2-4 Texans. Buddy, this is either going to be a really good game or it's going to be terrible because the Texans offense is garbage.
I'm going to go terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
CJ Stroud is not good.
No, not at all. And it's funny. Obviously they opened up against my Rams in week 1, and I flat out told you, I was like, this game kind of makes me nervous. The offense, they've got these weapons. They are garbage. They scored 9 points in that game, and
not to mention they'll be without Nico Collins and Christian Kirk this week.
Right. So he's wide receiver core wise. He has, I don't know who the hell he's going to throw the ball to.
The ground.
Yeah. Well, he and Carson Wentz then are of the same ilk. Injury wise for the Niners, obviously Jake Brendel, their center, didn't practice. Let's see, Yator Gross Matos, the defensive end, he's out. Bryce Huff is out. Defensively, the Niners are beat up as well. Juwan Jennings was a full go. So was Mac Jones. Mac Jones, he's gutting through some injuries. But Diamador Lenore, he didn't practice. Christian McCaffrey did not practice. Ricky Pearsall did not practice. Brock Purdy was limited as well as Upton Stout, the corner. CJ West, the defensive tackle, he was a full go as well. And then Trent Williams, the tackle, did not practice either.
I'll say the McCaffrey and Trent Williams one's like the veteran rest days.
Just maintenance days. See and you're right. The Texans, they are without some big time players. Nico Collins is out. Christian Kirk is out. Dalton Schultz, the tight end, he was limited as well. Excuse me. But Danico Autry, Derek Bennett, and Jalen Smith, all on the defensive side of the ball, were limited. So it'll be interesting as we get closer to Sunday in these games and see who practices and who doesn't tomorrow. Because the Texans may be down defensively as well. And if they are, the Niners are going to come in there and walk out of Texas with a win. Of course, they may do that anyway, just because I think that they'll be able to move the ball. And all they need to do, I think if they score 14 points, I think they've got Houston beat.
True.
So we'll go to the next game, Jets and the Bengals. The 0-7 Jets, and Woody Johnson had some interesting words
What did say about Justin Fields?
Yeah, and they're going to make a quarterback change to Tyrod Taylor. Easy for me to say.
No, they're not.
Oh, they're not. I thought Woody Johnson said they were making the move.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn won't say who's starting.
Wow.
Aaron Glenn said he doesn't want to give the Bengals an advantage.
Dude, they already have an advantage. They have more weapons than you.
They're playing. No, their advantage is they're playing the Jets.
No, there you go. And the Jets are going to be beat up defensively. Now, Michael Carter II on defense, their corner, he was a full go. Sauce Gardner did not participate in practice today. And I knew
Quincy Williams is going to get off IR this week.
Okay, so Quincy Williams, the linebacker, comes back. He was a full go in practice today as well. Garrett Wilson's out. It doesn't matter. I mean, no. I don't want to give the Bengals an advantage. Dog, my man. Come on.
They just show up. They have the advantage at this point.
Like Woody Johnson said, it'd be nice if my quarterback could complete a pass.
Right.
I mean, the last two games, he's thrown for 46 and 45 yards, respectively. I mean, come on, man.
And people thought Justin Fields would be the best quarterback out of his draft class.
Okay. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was the problem there, right? Defensively for the Bengals, Trey Hendrickson, he's limited in practice. So is Tanner Hudson. Cedric Johnson, he's a full go, which is bad news for whoever the Jets do start at quarterback. Charlie Jones, the wide receiver, the fourth wide receiver for the Bengals, was limited. See, Cameron Sample, the defensive end, did not practice for the Bengals, and Marco Wilson, the corner, did not go as well. Look, it's the Jets. This is kind of similar to the Falcons and the Dolphins. Dude, just put your cleats on the right damn feet and go out.
I feel bad for whoever the Jets are going to pick at 1.
Oh, my God.
It's looking like it's going to be Ty Simpson. So his career is going to be over.
I hope Ty comes back for another year. Like, no, man. You can make money NIL. Stay in college, dog. Don't go do this.
Don't go to the Jets.
Don't do it, man. Just don't. This career suicide. Don't do it, man. It's like you got a guy on the bridge going, I can't handle life anymore. Well, if you're the Jets are drafting, okay, I'm jumping like a son of a bitch.
It's between him or Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, the kid out of Indiana. That's all right. He can go there. Whew. Man, the Jets, you're like, it's draft night and the Jets are trying to call to let you know they're drafting you. I'm giving you the do not disturb button. Otherwise, it's the F you button. Yeah. Trade me. God, that's career suicide. I'd rather go play for the Carolina Panthers than the New York Jets.
You're not wrong.
And their owners of he's an effing fruitcake. He's out of his damn mind. Speaking of the Panthers, the 4-2 Bills are at the 4-3 Panthers, and I think this can be a better game than what people think.
I do too.
The Panthers do not lose at home. The Bills do not win on the road. So it'd be interesting.
The Panthers are also Bryce Youngless.
Yeah, they are, and it's going to be. Is it the Red Rifle starting? Isn't he? Isn't that who's going? That's what I thought.
I don't think it makes much of a difference.
Really? You think the Bills are going to get that one?
Yeah.
Man, you're probably right, but I mean the Bills are kind of beat up too. Matt Milano.
Yeah. I just don't. I just don't think whoever plays quarterback for the Panthers makes that team any better or worse.
Right. I think, well, and I'll say this. I think if the Panthers did have a fighting chance, I think Bryce Young would have to play. I just don't think Andy Dalton can get it done for him. But, you've got some other injuries too, like J.C. Horn, the corner he's limited in practice. Um, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Josh Allen shows up. And really that's what this game is all predicated on, is whether or not he brings his A game with him. I don't. The Bills, yes, they're 4-2. They're second place in the AFC East, which I don't think any of us thought that the Patriots would actually win that division, but they're on their way because they do have the tiebreaker after beating Buffalo. But Buffalo's kind of beat up too. Like defensively, Terrell Bernard, the linebacker, he's limited in practice. Same with Maxwell Hairston. Daquan Jones, he did not practice. Dalton Kincaid is limited. Matt Milano, who just cannot stay healthy at all over the last 2 or 3 years, he was limited as well. Josh Palmer, the wide receiver, he did not practice. Taylor Rapp, the safety, did not practice either. And then Curtis Samuel, the wide receiver, he was limited. So the Bills are beat up as well. Again, it's week 8, and some of these may not be as big as we think. But still, I mean, those are some pretty important names, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that are not healthy.
If the Josh Allen that played on Monday night last week plays, who I believe he was too busy watching Sinners and got mad. If that Josh Allen shows up, they're going to lose.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that at all. You're kind of spot on. So
and now next year he's going to have to watch DK Metcalf in a movie with Haley Steinfeld. So that's going to be even worse for him. Just saying.
I knew that's where you were going. I'll tell you what. So the next game is the Buccaneers and the Saints, and you want to talk about an injury list? My goodness, the Buccaneers.
Tampa.
I mean, yeah, it is. It's pretty stupid just to see how many players are actually hurt.
Same players are on there every week.
Well, it does seem that way, and the one that I really feel bad for was Mike Evans. He comes back, he's finally healthy, and then he breaks his collarbone, and the word is he's going to miss most of the rest of the season. I think we've seen December is when he may be back, but just listen to this list. I mean, so limited in practice was Ben Bredesen, who is a guard, Teddy Bridgewater, who didn't participate. Devin Culp, the tight end, was limited. Okay, did not practice. Levante David, Emeka Abuka, Greg Gaines, Chris Godwin, Luke Haggard, Bucky Irving, Christian Isian. I mean, so there you go. There's 6 or 7 players right there. Godwin and Bucky Irving have already been ruled out for this week. And I mean, you just see Antonio Winfield, he didn't practice. Marquis Watts, the linebacker, he did not practice. Neither did Hassan Reddick. I mean, my goodness. Even Baker was limited in practice. Baker is carrying this team and he's beat up.
Baker's been limited for the past 4 games.
Yeah. Well, I think if anybody needs to be, it's him. There's no way in hell I want to run him out there. And
No.
I mean, he's carrying this team. He's had comeback after comeback after comeback. They're playing the Saints this week, but they are in New Orleans. And for some reason, the Saints play better at home. But Juwan Johnson, the tight end, limited in practice. Alvin Kamara, limited in practice. Chris Olave did not go. I mean, Chase Young was, I mean, I don't.
Reports came out about the Saints today from Jordan Schultz.
Okay. Which gap?
They are expected to they're monitoring trade calls for Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed.
But I tell you what, I wouldn't mind Shaheed. If I could get Shaheed paired up with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams.
I want Chris Olave.
You can have the possession guy. I'll take the deep guy because that's what we need ultimately. I mean, both Adams and Nacua are move the sticks guys. Not that they can't go deep, but
I mean, I just want a receiver that can catch the ball.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a little bit when we recap that game from last week. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We got the Titans and the Colts, the Cowboys and the Broncos.
Colts.
And, Packers and Steelers as we'll go through this. So let's go ahead and preview these week. Try that again. Take two. Preview this week's games. Again, easy for me to say. And we'll kind of talk about how they did in their past games. So the first one we got tonight is the Vikings and the Chargers. We've kind of both talked about that already. The Vikings, they had a chance to beat the Eagles. They fall to the Eagles 28-22. This is a Carson Wentz special. I just don't think that he, in his stature, where he's at in his career, I just don't think he can win big games anymore.
I don't know if this is a real big game. If that makes sense.
In terms of, because the Chargers are 4-3 and the Vikings are 3-3. So in terms of like their personal, like get into position for a playoff spot, I think it's big. But what do you mean you don't think it's a big game? I don't want to, obviously,
I don't think if they lose this game, it's really going to make any of a bit of a difference
for either team. Do you have either team making the playoffs?
At this moment, no.
Okay.
Because the reason for the Chargers, they can't stay healthy. And that's really the only reason.
That's true.
Herbert's been playing out of his mind, but
they beat the Chiefs in week 1, and we thought, oh hell.
But if you don't have an offensive line, then you're not going to do much.
Yeah, it's true. Very, very true.
But with that, are we doing our predictions now, or are we like?
Yeah, we can do them now. Let's go ahead and do them now.
I think Minnesota wins.
I initially had the Chargers winning this game in my Pick'em challenge, which, by the way, I won 13 games last week. And I had the Chargers picked, and I went back earlier today looking at this game again, and I actually changed my pick to the Minnesota Vikings.
I think they're not going to be able to handle Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
And that's why I switched, because the Chargers defense is ass.
They couldn't handle Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman last week. I don't think they're going to be able to handle Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
No, I'm kind of with you. And like I said, this game could either be a defensive game, or it's going to be a blowout. And honestly, like after we've talked about it a little bit more and looking at the injury reports, I kind of think the Vikings win this one going away. So that's kind of where I'm at as well. I kind of think the Vikings win this one. So we'll move on to the next one. It's the Dolphins and the Falcons. So outside of the fact that the Dolphins lost to the Browns 31-6 last week, after Tua threw his third interception, like Mike McDaniel was losing his mind. And every time he steps to the podium after a game, he sounds like a 15-year-old who's playing Madden that can't understand why he lost.
Which one?
Any game?
No, I mean which person? McDaniel or Tua?
Oh, McDaniel.
Oh, well, did you hear what Tua had to say?
This week, no. I've not been plugged in.
He said the reason he didn't target Jalen Waddle is because he couldn't see him.
Okay. That is the dumbest. What? Tua, you went to Alabama, dude. I know your education.
That Tua blind as fuck song is pretty. It's looking like it's pretty relevant now.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't understand it. I really don't. But outside of them losing 31-6, that team has quit on Mike McDaniel. And they've quit on Tua for that fact.
McDaniel's not a good coach. I think he's out of there by the end of the year. Maybe not even the end of the year.
I think he's out of touch too. I just don't. You can come up with any excuse you want, but my dude, really? I don't even know what to say anymore. It's the same song and dance every week. He used to be a
ball boy for the Broncos, and you elevated him to a coach.
Yeah, but he's been around the game. And remember when he first got to Miami, we all loved him because he was funny and he would say, but he was winning games. Now he's not so much funny anymore because he's losing every week. They're 1-6. Nobody thought that the Dolphins would be 1-6 right now.
He was the offensive coordinator for the Niners. He didn't call those plays.
Yeah. if he did, then I don't know what the hell happened between San Francisco and Miami. Unless he's just gotten comfortable in Miami. And if that's the case, they need to fire him.
He looks like he's on meth every week.
I don't know. I can't explain it. The Falcons, their opponent this week, they are 3-3. They lost to the Niners on Sunday Night Football last week, 20-10. I really thought Atlanta was going to win that game, and they held. I mean, they held their own for with the first half or so, and then just Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, that's the reason they lost.
I mean, it's just too much CMC. This week, obviously, they've got the Dolphins. I think they improved to 4-3. Miami's not going in there to beat them, even if Kirk Cousins does play.
It's looking like I'm going to be right about Miami being almost dead last in that division.
Yeah, I mean, you called it. I think I had them third because I had the Jets last. But, man, and I don't know if anybody even thought, like, it's weird because we thought the Patriots, I knew they were going to be improved. Drake May's a good quarterback. But I didn't think they would finish. Hell, they may win the division, to be honest with you. So,
I picked them to be second because of Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. The next game this week is the Bears and the Ravens. The Bears are 4-2 after let's see, looking at theirs from last week after they beat the Saints 26-14 at home. That really wasn't much of a game. I think we all expected Chicago to beat New Orleans. They take on the Ravens, a 1-5 Ravens team that could, and it's looking more likely that they'll be without Lamar this week. I don't think it matters if Lamar plays or not. I think the Bears defense has played well. I think Caleb Williams has kind of settled into that offense. So I think the Bears beat the Ravens this week because whether or not Lamar plays, the Bears defense has just been good.
Well, apparently now, since the Ravens are 1-5, Harbaugh's taking stuff out of the locker room.
I saw that.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work the way he thinks it is.
Yeah, I don't know if those distractions are necessarily the ones that are causing them to lose.
One of your corners talking about going to each state eating hot dogs.
Yeah. Good on him. I saw that. It'd be fun to do, but dude, you're in the middle of a season, you got to focus.
You're in the middle of the season where you're one of the worst corners in the league.
Oh, his nickname.
That's hard to do.
His nickname this year has been Toast. That's for sure.
That's hard to do because Brandon Stevens on the Jets is one of the worst, and I thought he was the worst.
Yeah, I've got so I'm gonna take the 4-2 Bears to improve to 5-2 this week. I don't think it matters if Baltimore. I don't think it matters who the hell. I don't think it matters
if DeAndre Swift doesn't play for the Bears.
Yeah, I don't think I'm with you. I don't think it matters either. The next game is the Bills and the Panthers. Bills go to Carolina. They are 4-2. The Panthers are 4-3, and the Panthers will be without Bryce Young this weekend due to an ankle injury. This is one of those games where you got Andy Dalton coming in. Look, the Bills' defense has not been good, and the more I sit here and think, it's like give the ball to Rico Dowdle with or without Bryce Young. I'm taking the Panthers.
I'm going to go with the Panthers too, but I don't like how they handled this running back situation last week.
Okay. Do you think
you have Rico Dowdle, who's had 200 yards in 2 games, and you're going to split it with Chuba Hubbard?
Yeah.
And Dowdle outgained him again?
Yeah, and I think the reason they did that was just because Hubbard's the veteran. But I'm kind of with you. Like, if you get hurt and your replacement comes in and he's doing a better job than you were initially running the ball, you're going to get Wally pipped. I'm sorry. It's an ugly way to do things, but.
If they start Dowdle, I think Dowdle could have a game like Bijan had against the Bills.
I agree, and that's kind of why the more we sat in and talked, I was sitting there thinking, man, the Bills' run defense is terrible. And if you run the ball, you're keeping Josh Allen off the field.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm with you. We'll take the Panthers there. The next game is the 0-7 Jets at the 3-4 Bengals. This is a no-brainer. I'm taking Cincinnati, and I think this game is ugly for the Jets.
Yeah, I think Flacco might throw for 5 touchdowns.
I wouldn't be mad about it. I mean, now last week, their defense did hold Carolina to 13 points, but Bryce Young did get hurt during that game as well. And you kind of talked about how they split the carries between the running backs. That does throw off your offensive timing a bit.
I think Carolina also knew they were going to win the game regardless.
Right. And you kind of pull the dogs off. So yeah, I'm with you. We were both on the
Because who's going to stop Jamar
yeah,
since Sauce is out?
or T Higgins. I mean, it's
Yeah.
going to get ugly. So yeah, both of us have the Bengals there. Next game is the 5-2 49ers at the 2-4 Houston Texans. Yeah, I'm taking the Niners. Houston's
Niners.
terrible. They are absolutely garbage. That defense was good. They were banged up on that side of the ball. Offensively, no Nico Collins, no Christian Kirk, and like it matters because CJ Stroud has
I,
been throwing the ball
yeah.
to the other team all year.
I think the only good part of Houston is their defense.
Yeah, and they're banged up this week. I think the Niners.
And Stroud's just becoming the quarterback I thought he would coming out of Ohio State, which was not good.
Right, and I think it's going to be more CMC for San Francisco, and I think Houston has no answer for Christian McCaffrey. The next game is the 2-5 Cleveland Browns. They are on the road. They go to Foxborough to take on the 5-2 New England Patriots.
The Patriots.
Yeah, the Browns last week, of course, they took care of the hapless Dolphins 31-6. The Patriots beat the Titans 31-13. Yeah, this is going to be one of those games where I think the Patriots they're going to beat the Browns physically up front, and then although I wouldn't give the ball to Ramondre Stevenson, who likes to give it to the other team. I think the Patriots win this one easily as well. We got a lot of those games this weekend.
The Browns beating the Dolphins is like a 7-foot man beating up on a dwarf.
Yeah,
that's not really
not much of a fight.
Yeah, or you just kick him over. That's really what they did.
Yeah, we've got a lot of games like that this week where you've got a really good team against a team that's been struggling this year. The next game is the 2-5 Giants at the 5-2 Eagles. This is a revenge spot for Philadelphia, but I don't think it matters. You've got Jackson Dart, Cam Scatteraboo, Wan'Dale Robinson looks like the second coming of Jerry Rice in some of these games. I don't know where the hell he's come from, but maybe it's just the fact that he's got a quarterback he trusts to get him the ball. Excuse me. I don't know. This is a weird game. I'm going to take the Eagles at home because of just the fact that they are at home.
I'm taking the Fighting Jackson Darts. They're going to sweep the Philadelphia Eagles.
I wouldn't be mad about it. The Eagles got off to a great start, but boy, they are struggling, and there's still that tension in the locker room with the AJ Brown stuff. Which at some point in time, these veterans have got to be like, dude, just shut the hell up. We know you're not getting the ball, but I think more importantly is that you're winning ball games. That's what should be more important. But go check out another book from the library. The next game is the 5-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the 1-6 New Orleans Saints. This is an easy one. It's going to be Tampa, and New Orleans may give a little bit of pushback because they're at home, but I don't think it's going to be much.
I think this is a closer game than you would think.
Okay.
Mainly because it's a division game.
And we've seen how some of those this year have been obviously we just talked about the Giants and the Eagles. Nobody thought the Giants. Well, you did. You picked the Giants in that the first time they played them on Thursday night, but I certainly didn't think the Giants would knock off the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. But again, it's a divisional game. So I'm gonna take the Buccaneers here against the Saints.
Have you noticed the trend about the Thursday night games?
In terms of
the underdogs win every week.
It has seemed that way. Going back to San Francisco knocking off the Rams on Thursday night.
Well, think last week, Pittsburgh and Cincy.
Very true. Very, very true. So are you taking Tampa or New Orleans here?
I'm taking Tampa.
All righty. Next game is the 3-1 Cowboys at the 5-2 Denver Broncos. Broncos had the improbable comeback, scoring 33 points in the fourth quarter last week against the Giants. The Cowboys, on the other hand, they knocked off
the Commanders.
They sure did, 44-22. Man, this is one of those guys. They're on the road in Denver. Javonte Williams coming back to take on his former team in Denver, but I think the Broncos they've got the riding the momentum off that win. I think Denver knocks off Dallas.
I'm gonna say Dallas wins. I think their offense is gonna just be too much.
Dak Prescott is playing himself into an MVP conversation. He really is. He's been really good.
But it really doesn't matter because his defense isn't doing anything.
That's true, and that's kind of been the knock on the Cowboys has been their defensive prowess or lack
But
thereof this
I can
season.
see this game being very high scoring.
I could too. Next game, the 1-6 Titans go to Indianapolis to take on 6-1. I'm sorry, the Titans are 1-6. They go to Indy to take on the Colts at 6-1. This is going to be ugly. Daniel Jones is going to light that team up. Jonathan Taylor's been unstoppable. The Colts' only loss was on the road in Los Angeles against the Rams. Obviously, I'm taking the Colts to win this one.
I never thought I would say this. I want the Titans to win, but I know they're not going to.
Right. So I'm guessing you're going with Indianapolis then?
Yeah, Indy's going to kill them.
We've got the Sunday night football game this week, which is going to be awesome because this is a revenge spot. Aaron Rodgers, Steelers, they're at home against the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers has never faced Green Bay. You know he's going to want this game. The Packers are 4-1-1. The Steelers are 4-2. The Steelers defense has been terrible. The Packers, they had trouble with Arizona last week. They ultimately won that game 27-23. I'm taking the Steelers. I think Aaron Rodgers has a lot to prove Sunday night.
I'm taking the Steelers too. I really thought you were going to pick the Packers.
No, I don't want Green Bay to win. I do not like
the Packers at all. Have like this streak where they lose at Pittsburgh. It's like a 12-game streak.
Wow. That's one of those. I didn't know that. I guess I didn't dig deep enough into that one. Monday Night Football, we've got the Commanders at the Chiefs, 3-4 for Washington, 4-3 for the Chiefs. The Chiefs, I think, have found their offense. It doesn't hurt that Rashee Rice comes back. He had a huge game last week. I've got the Chiefs at home.
Chiefs. The Commanders don't have Jaden Daniels.
That's true. It's going to be Marcus Mariota behind or under center. Commanders don't have a chance to win this one. Chiefs big. So the teams on bye this week are the Cardinals, the 2-5 Cardinals, the 5-2 Lions, the 4-3 Jaguars, 2-5 Vegas Raiders. Seattle and the Rams, both at 5-2, have byes this week as well. That's the one game we did not cover from this past week was the Jaguars and the Rams game in London. I know you don't want to talk about this in too much, and I'm not going to rub it in.
I woke up early for nothing.
Rams take care of the Jaguars 35-7 in a game that, well, I mean, it was close. Well, okay, it wasn't. It was close early on when it was tied 0. It would have
been if they wouldn't have called that penalty on the kickoff return.
Oh, on the.
I'm sorry, I did not see a block in the back.
I didn't either, and I'm a Rams fan and didn't see it. Now the game might have been closer in terms of score, but ultimately, as we got later on in that game, the Jaguars just didn't have an answer for the Rams, and a lot of that had to do with Devontae Adams, who he only had 5 receptions for 35 yards, but 3 of them were touchdowns. Matthew Stafford goes off and throws 5 touchdowns, 3 to Devontae.
Who would have thought you put Travis Hunter on Devontae Adams and he doesn't catch a pass?
I don't understand a lot of the times what your defensive coordinator is doing. It's no different than even in the video game. You're going to put your best corner on the best receiver on the opposing team.
Well, I don't think they realized that he would also be our best receiver who can actually catch the damn ball.
8 catches for 110 yards and the only touchdown that the Jaguars scored. So
I mean, these drops this game were ridiculous.
Brian Thomas Jr. had 11 himself.
I mean, it hit him right in the hands.
I said this to you during the game, and I really feel that way. He's afraid to get hit. He's afraid to go across the middle. He's afraid to get hit.
All of them are.
It's not a recipe for winning for Williams.
De'Ami Brown did the same thing.
I know.
They ran across the middle, and he had it in his hand, and he turned and saw someone coming, and he dropped it. Now,
in defense, we do have some guys that if you go across the middle, you're going to get licked. But every team has that.
It's football.
I know. Like I said the other day, I was telling you, I was listening to a show the other day that they said Brian Thomas Jr. needed to get a tutu and some ballet slippers.
Like,
I know.
I mean, our second best receiver is Tim Patrick.
Yeah, I know.
At least he catches something.
I was going to say he did haul in a couple big passes for you guys. I'm just looking at it here like, so hang on. There we go.
I can't tell you the next game we win, to be honest.
You really don't think you'll beat Vegas next week?
No. if Max Crosby's playing, Trevor's not going to have any time.
Yeah, the Rams defense did pressure him quite a bit.
They sacked him 7 times again.
I know, and that's back-to-back games because Seattle got you for 7 times too.
And if Crosby's lined up on Walker Little, this game's going to be over in the first half.
He's a turnstile. He may literally get Trevor Lawrence's legs broken.
This might be a 6-3 game by the end. Because I don't trust Geno Smith either.
No, I don't either. I mean,
hopefully Coleman can light a fire under them with that video that came out today.
Travis Hunter's 8 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown. He was targeted 14 times. Parker Washington, he had 4 catches for 52, but he had 6 drops. I mean,
every year. They have led the league in drops since 2021.
Say lately, it seems like it's been every week. Obviously you're more of a Jags fan than I am, so you're keeping up with them more. But it's
like when people are like Trevor's bad, it doesn't help that your team leads the league in drops every year.
Right. Stafford went 21-33 for only $182, but he had the 5 touchdowns. But you guys, the Rams kept getting a short field because Liam didn't trust Cam Little to kick a field goal or to make one. So short fields led to.
He would have the first drive, and then Cam missed the field goal. So, right. And they're not bringing in any competition for him. So
I saw that as well. So leading rusher for the Rams, Kyron Williams, no surprise. He had 12 carries for 54 yards. Blake Corum had 12 carries as well for 37. And then the leading receiver, funny enough, for the Rams was Kobe Parkinson, the tight end. 3 catches for 47 yards. We talked about Devontae Adams, 5 catches for 35 yards. He had the 3 touchdowns. Ferguson, the tight end, he had 1 catch in the game, which was a 31-yard touchdown pass. And then Kanata Mumfield had a catch for a touchdown as well. This all done without Puka Nacua, and they do expect him to be back next week as they take on the Saints. But, yeah, the Jaguars have problems, and it's not a Trevor Lawrence problem.
Fixable, though.
I know.
They're all fixable.
Well, and that's what I was saying. It's certainly not a Trevor Lawrence problem. This is your receivers have to grow a pair and not be afraid to go across the middle of the football field.
The past 3 games, Trevor has 7 touchdowns from 1 pick. And it's like, you can't do much more. He threw for 300 yards.
I know. Yeah, I think that game is probably a 35-21 game at least, 35-24, if you guys could catch passes. And you can't blame your quarterback for that because these passes, they were right on the numbers or right on your hands and continue to drop.
When Trevor would overthrow a pass, he would hit it right on the money the next play, and then the dude just drops it.
I just wonder if there's a trust thing there with the receivers too. And not necessarily Trevor trusting the receivers, but vice versa. The receivers get flustered, he missed a pass, but he comes back to you. You got to always be ready, and obviously they're not because they're not hauling these passes.
I just don't think they want to get hit.
Well, you could tell there were a lot of times, and I even texted you. I think it was BTJ where I was like, man, he's got gator arms. He wanted nothing to do
awful.
You cannot be.
I think this is just showing you what he did in college because he did this in college too.
Yeah. Well, you certainly
and a lot of his catches last year were like double catches where he was bobbling it and almost dropped it.
Right. You certainly can't. You cannot be successful whatsoever and be an elite wide receiver in the NFL if you cannot catch the ball.
Travis Hunter needs all of our targets because he's the only one that can catch.
And then the bad thing is teams overload their coverage to one side. Now that would leave other guys wide open, but it doesn't matter if you're wide open.
I don't trust them to catch it.
Right. So
the only other one I would trust to catch it is hurt right now, and that's Brenton Strange.
Yeah, and he got banged up.
Because even our tight ends couldn't catch one. It was a 3rd and 13, and he was open.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bad news. And then, it was over quickly. But again, a lot of that had to do with the fact that you guys just could not catch the ball. So
by halftime, I changed out of my jersey into a clown shirt because I felt like I was watching a bunch of clowns.
Well, I won't rub it in too much because, like I said, it's one of those things.
Do it. You earned it. Do it.
No, I'm not so sure we necessarily earned it. You guys kind of helped us out by not catching the ball. So, but all righty. So that wraps up the the preview of Week 8. We're halfway. I guess we'll be halfway through the season as we go into next week, and then of course we get to the trade deadline on November 4th, which we plan on doing a trade deadline show. I think that'll be interesting. I think the trade deadline will be extremely active this year. I really do.
I hope so.
It's similar to Major League Baseball where they pushed it back a week just to see, if there was teams that were going to be in it more, be in the chase longer, you'd see more action. But this year, I think you've got so many teams that are already out of the playoff hunt and are pretty much mailing it in. We're looking at you, New York Jets and Miami Dolphins, that are that bad. But I'm not so sure, other than maybe a couple defensive players from each team. There's not, unless, if I'm Devin Achane, I want to get out of Miami. I think I would kind of force my way out of there at this point. But
did you see what the Jets wanted for their defensive players?
I did, and it's stupid. Look, you're 1-6. You have absolutely no, or you're 0-7 rather. You have no leverage whatsoever, and you're asking for.
These aren't bad. They're not bad.
I think it depends on what, because generally in a trade like that in the NFL, which you see more and more, there's always it seems like there's a player going the other way more so than
I would give a second round pick right now for Quinnen Williams.
You would or wouldn't?
I would.
Yeah.
Jermaine Johnson, I would give a third rounder for him.
Yeah. What did that Breece Hall was on that list too? Was it a fifth?
A fifth.
Yeah. Man. You might be able to get a third or fourth really for him.
And then Michael Carter and Quincy Williams are on here for day 3 picks.
I know. The Michael Carter one, I'd be all over.
I would do most of those in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Especially Quinnen Williams, because
I think the Jets realize that they're
not
any leverage.
Good.
Yeah, they don't have any leverage either.
Apparently, Achane might get traded to the Seattle Seahawks. So if that happens,
why? You've got Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Are you really going to trade for Devin Achane?
Charbonnet's been overworking Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker would be a part of that deal.
Who'll send him the other way? That's what I'm saying. You'd have to send a player the other way in that. So, all righty. Well, there's our preview of Week 8 or Week 9, whatever week we're in. Hell, I don't know.
Week 8.
I think it's Week 9 college, Week 8 NFL.
Yeah.
I hate that. I try to keep them straight.
My team doesn't play this week.
Florida.
The Billy Napier-less Florida Gators.
Have you seen some of
Finally.
Have you seen some of the coaches they're looking at to replace him?
Yeah, and I still think Lane Kiffin ends up with that job.
Do you?
Yep.
I think it'll be interesting. I know Lane has connections.
Either Lane Kiffin or James Franklin, and I wouldn't be mad with either one of them.
Yeah, I still can't believe Penn State fired him, but I think we're seeing more and more come out about that. And Nick Saban kind of called out Penn State on College Game Day. They had asked James Franklin if he thought it was fair or not, and he goes, "That's not for me to decide." Nick Saban goes, "I'll tell you." He goes, "It wasn't fair. It was a bunch of shit." So, all righty. So there's
according to Florida State, though, they think they're going to get Saban.
Yeah, I know it. I don't think he's going anywhere. So, I think he enjoys his job with Pat McAfee too much.
Who wouldn't?
I know. and you get Kirk Herbstreit and Peter, the golden retriever, every week.
Who wouldn't enjoy your job with Pat McAfee?
I know, right? All righty, so there's the preview for Week 8 in the NFL. I'm telling you, I think we're going to have – I think there's just a lot of dog crap games this week. And unfortunately, I think that's how it's going to be really the rest of the season. You just got – there's no real middle ground. Everybody's either good or upper echelon to really, really good or great. You just got 5, 6, 7 teams that are just crap. So you got anything else you want to add this week?
No.
All righty. Well, we'll wrap things up then on this Thursday afternoon. We'll hopefully, barring any technical difficulties, this damn camera on my computer. Barring any technical difficulties, we'll be back next Wednesday night at 6:30 at a regular time and at night. So thanks for tuning in this afternoon. And until next Wednesday, we will see you.